Hello students. So now I am going to discuss with you about the cache memories. So in cache memory, so you already know that there is a CPU, there is a processor, and this is your processor, and this is your cache memory, which is very near to the processor. And you know that after the processor there is a register also comes, but here I am not showing this because it is understood that registers are inside of the processor. And after that processor there is a cache memory, and then after the cache memory there is a main memory. So these three memory systems are we are going to discuss with you about these three type of the memory systems. And here I am showing you that how the cache memory works with the processor. Okay, so processor issues a read request and a block of words is transferred from the main memory to the cache memory, one word at a time. So one word may be of 1 byte, it may be of 1 byte, and it may be of 16 bits, or it may be of any there is a particular set of data, and it is in terms of multiple of bytes. Okay, so whenever processor asks something, then it issues a logical address. It issues a logical address. So it will issue a logical address to the memory, and this logical address will be transferred to the cache memory, and then memory management unit is there, and this memory management unit is transfers basically this logical address into the physical address. Then from particular physical address location the data is accessed and provided to the processor. Okay, so same things are written here. So in that case we will learn that how the things are happening. So processor issues a read request, a block of word is transferred from the main memory to the cache. So if it is asks something with the cache, firstly it will ask something with the cache. If it is not available in the cache, then it will jump to the memory. So it will firstly ask with the cache, and if it is not here, then the control will go to the main memory, and from main memory the data will be fetched and provided to the cache memory, and then from cache memory the data is accessed by the processor. So that is a flow. So subsequent references to the data in the block of the words are found in the cache. So basically block of word is basically fixed in size. So whatever the block of word is in the cache is the same as the block of the word in the main memory. So for example, if in that case this number of the blocks is 16 bit, so this number of block will be also 16 bit. Okay, so subsequent references to the data in this block of word are found in the cache. At any given time only some blocks in the main memory are held in the cache, and which blocks in the main memory are in cache is determined by a mapping function. So now point is this, that how the data will be captured by the cache. So how it will be declared, that how the data can be captured, because the size of the cache is lesser than that of main memory. So for example, if it is of 1 gigabyte, and so it may be of your 256 kilobyte or 156 kilobyte. So it is very less in nature. Okay, so it does not have so much amount of the data, so it cannot handle so much amount of the data. So now let's see, at any given time only some blocks in the main memory are held in the cache. Which blocks in the main memory are in the cache is determined by a mapping function. When the cache is full and a block of word need to be transferred from the main memory, some block of the words cache must be replaced. That is determined by replacement algorithm. So each and everything is designed and defined by means of the processor. It is decided by the memory management unit, that how the block of the data is which type of the block of the data must be in the cache memory, and which of the block of data should be removed from the cache memory, and how the new block of data can be provided to the cache memory. So that all things are defined by means of the replacement algorithm. So there are two things, one is your mapping function and another is your replacement algorithm. So these two terms are very much important. because in mapping function we decide that how the data is can be filled in the cache memory, because its size is very much less, and only required data which is again and again needed by the processor can be filled in the cache memory, not all the data. So which data need to be replaced is defined by the replacement algorithm. Okay. Now let's see some of the terms. Existence of a cache is transparent to the processor. The processor issued read and write requests in the same manner. If the cache is if the data is in cache, it is called read or write hit. Okay. So if the data is in cache, if it will issue a request to the cache memory. If it is available in the cache memory, then it is a cache hit. If it is not available in the cache memory, then it is cache miss. Okay, so what is read it? The data is obtained from the cache. What is write it? Cache has replica of the content of the main memory. Content of the cache and the main memory may be updated simultaneously. This is the write through protocol. And update the content of the cache and mark it as updated by setting a bit known as the directly bit modified bit. Okay, directly bit or modified bit. The content of the main memory are updated when this block is replaced. This is write back or copy back protocol. So these two protocols are there for the write hit. Okay, one is your write through protocol and another is your write back or or copy back protocol. What is write miss? So in the write miss you can see if cache miss. What is cache miss? In the cache miss, if the data is not present in the cache, then it is read miss or write miss. Okay, so what is read miss? Block of the data containing the requested word is transferred from the main memory. So whenever there is no data in the cache, then this is a cache miss, and in that case the processor will jump to directly to the main memory, and it will then take the block of the data to the cache memory. It will update the cache, and then it will access the data. Okay, so what is read miss? So block of the word containing the request word is transferred from the main memory. After the block is transferred, the desired word is forwarded to the processor. The desired word may also be forwarded to the processor as soon as it is transferred without waiting for the entire block to be transferred. This is called loop throw or early restart. Okay, so again we will read it. Block of the words containing this request word must transferred from the main memory, and after the block is transferred, the desired word is forwarded to the processor. As I just told you that the desired word will be firstly transferred to the cache memory, and after that word is transferred to the processor. Okay, it is known as local throw or early restart. Okay, write miss. What is write miss? So write throw protocol is used, and then the content of the main memory are updated directly. If write back protocol is used, the block containing the addressed word is first brought into the cache. The desired word is overwritten with new information. So what is cache coherence problem? It is very important and it is mostly asked in the exam. So let's see what is cache coherence problem. A bit called is a valid bit is provided for each block. If the block contains valid data, then the bit is set to 1, else it is set to 0. So valid bits are set to 0 when the power is just turned on. Okay, when you switch on your system, so block is loaded so block contains a valid bit is 0 when you switch on your system. Okay, when a block is loaded into the cache from the first time, the valid bit is set to 1. Data transfers between main memory and disk occurs directly bypassing the cache. Okay, so we no need to enroll the cache whenever there is a data transfer between the main memory and the cache. So you know the hierarchy, you know this hierarchy, that after firstly the processor is there, then cache is there, then main memory, then hard disk is also there, hard disk drive is also there, HDD, hard disk drive is also there. So there is no need to enroll this cache whenever their data is transferred from the hard disk to the main memory. The point is this. Okay, so so when the data on a disk changes, the main memory block is also updated. However, if I will tell you that how this data is transferred from the main memory, how this data is transferred from the cache memory, so I will tell you each and everything. So what happens if the data in the disk and the main memory changes and write back protocol is being used? So in that case, now you see that what is the problem actually. So if the data in the disk and the main memory changes and write back protocol is being used, so we have already studied about the write back protocol. If if the write back protocol is used, the block containing the addressed word is first brought into the cache. Okay, so if it is happening, then what is going to be happen? So in this case, the data in the cache may also have changed and is indicated by the dirty bit. Okay, so that kind of the bits cannot be used, and the copy of the data in the cache and the main memory are different, and then this is called the cache coherence problem. So point is this. Now try to understand that what is happening. There is a hard disk drive, there is a main memory, there is a cache. So there is some data there is already some data in the cache, and then what's happening, some block of data is needed by the processor which is even not in the main memory. Then what will be happen, it will be asked by the hard disk drive, and this hard disk drive will provide another block of data. Now this block of data is not present in the cache. Now if this problem will happen, then this is a cache coherence problem, because no any coherence will be happening in the cache and the main memory. Same set of the data is not present in the main memory and the cache. So that should happen, that whatever the data in the main memory and must be in the cache memory. So then the cache coherence problem will be exist. And one more option is to force a write back before the main memory is updated from the disk. So that was the cache coherence problem. So let's see the mapping functions. As I have already told you, I have just told you that what is the mapping function. And so mapping function determines how memory blocks are placed in the cache memory. A simple processor example. So cache consists of 128 blocks of 16 words each, and the total size of the cache is 2048. Okay, it is 2 kilobyte of the words, and main memory is addressable by means of the 16-bit word address, definitely. So main memory has 64 kilowords. So main memory has 4 kilo blocks of the 16 words each. Okay, so that is a process by means of we can declare that how many number of the blocks can be achieved by the cache memory. Okay, so there are some of the techniques by means of mapping techniques by means of the data is transferred to the cache memory. That is a direct mapping, associative mapping, and set associative mapping. In the next lecture I will discuss these things. Thank you.